Alright. Aging Holocaust survivors try to sue over Nazi-era insurance. This is from 2019, October 8th, 2019. It's only a 5-minute read. And this goes over how people had life insurance policies. I had to download the image because I don't have internet and video at the same time. Alright, when David, sorry if I messed this up, Schrichter was a child in Slovakia in the 1930s, he counted more than 100 people in his extended family. By the end of World War II, he alone survived. The rest had been killed in Nazi concentration camps or by roving SS death squads. Kind of like a militia. Let's see. Schlichter lost not only his family, but all that they owned, including life insurance covering his murdered relatives. And as time runs out on aging Holocaust survivors, some are trying to recover insurance policies that were not honored by Nazi-era companies, which could be worth at least $25 billion altogether in today's dollars, according to the Holocaust Survivors Foundation USA. So where the money went, nobody knows. Survivors want to take insurance companies to court in the U.S. to recover the money, but it would take an act of Congress to allow it. Kind of like it's going to take an act of Congress for me to get my kids back. For nearly 2 decades, the foundation members have tried and failed to gain access to the U.S. courts. This is an insult to humanity. All right, I don't exactly agree with this, okay? And I'm actually the reason I don't agree with it. This right here. The Nazis, under Adolf Hitler's final solution, killed an estimated 6 million Jews and others deemed undesirable by the German government, including gypsies, homosexuals, and disabled. So, in their mind, a gypsy is a homeless person. Okay? Or poor. Somebody who has to move around a lot. You have an apartment and not a house. So you have to move from one house to the other. Some gypsies, there are actually bands of gypsies and people, who are part of that. That's a different thing. But what they pretty much mean is the poor, homeless, underprivileged, undereducated. Which they are the ones who undereducated them in the first place. It began slowly with Hitler. Once Hitler rose to power, with Jews prevented from certain jobs in schools, and then the 1938 attack by Nazi gangs on Jewish homes, stores, and synagogues, known as Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass. All right, so broken glass actually is a thing, I think. With my dad, if you see broken glass around you, somebody breaks your window, that actually means you're a target of a hit. So they're still using these types of techniques today, except they're using them here in the United States. Since the war's end, the German government has paid hundreds of millions of dollars in repercussions to Holocaust survivors and other victims of the Third Reich. The International Commission on Holocaust-era Claims, formed in the 1990s with U.S. backing, has paid out $305 million on these issues, plus $200 million in humanitarian aid. I'm not trying to be rude here, but to how many people? I mean, what did they get? A $200 check? These people's lives were destroyed. I'm not saying that it's this person's fault or that person's fault, but you have $25 billion in life insurance, and this is all that you've paid out to help people. You couldn't have taken that $25 billion in life insurance and given it to the survivors that had to live through it. Now, Germany and insurance companies such as Munich Bank's Allianz SE and Italy's, I can't pronounce that, Generali, says the Commission's actions should provide finality, legal peace, in the terminology of the deal on the insurance claims. The point of this is, all right, they're going to battle over what? Insurance. They went to battle over what? Insurance. Now the U.S. is all on lockdown. we're all grounded. And what is in the background at the same exact time? Insurance. Okay? So I haven't lost my mind. I haven't flipped my lid. I'm not nuts. Okay? This stuff all happened before, in the past, in Germany, and it's happening again. Why? I don't know. Because people forgot. Because history repeats itself over and over and over, just like that image on that page, which that was an accident, but it actually fits. This is the hacking that I deal with, actually. This is part of the hacking I deal with. I tried to download that article, and instead I got history repeats itself. Here, same thing here, too. She should not be doing this. Look, I wanted the article, I got history repeats itself. Which I get, okay? I don't need this. This is garbage. There's no reason to destroy my work while I'm working on it. This is childish and childlike. Are we regressing? Alright. This has been read to me. Oh, by the way, I believe this is it. Adolf Hitler campaigned for chancellor, which I didn't even know they campaigned back then. I thought they just said, I want the job, and everybody gave it to him just because they were scared of him. Hitler, in the early 1930s, his campaign is organized down to the last detail. The candidate for chancellor could appear to be soaring high above the country. The propaganda holds him as a savior. I often had the feeling that Germany had never recovered from the war, from this defeat. Here is a sick people, and this sick people has now found a miracle doctor, a man who says, I will turn you into a successful people. Like a political preacher, he mobilizes the fears and prejudices of the masses. His enemy is democracy. We are intolerant. I have given myself one goal: to sweep these 30 political parties out of Germany. Perpetual campaigning on the Weimar Republic, permanent government crisis play into the hands of radical parties such as the National Socialists. They overrun the country with shrill slogans and menacing performances. Their uniforms seem omnipresent. This is the stage director of the propaganda campaign. Hitler's deputy in Berlin, Joseph Goebbels, relies on the mass effects of modern media. You should hear it when my dad reads it. It's actually much better. I've almost got it, though. Attracting attention at any price is his motto. His propaganda paper isn't titled Attack for nothing. Headlines, sensations. The attack at the time was utterly appalling. The lies that they allowed themselves, it should say here, to believe. But some of the people believed them. Not all. And this enabled Goebbels to bring a large part of the petty burglars over to his side. Goebbels understood that he could use terror to conquer the streets. Also in the arsenal of Nazi agitation is the targeted use of parades, brawls, and street battles. Hitler's party puts himself forward as a protection force against supposed communist coup. This is the fear, more than of Hitler, of large sections of the middle classes. I will always think the combination of terror and success is simply unbeatable. Dazzle and violence